one single item, you know, because there are single comic books that I have owned, whether I still own them or I no longer own them, that were worth like, you know, 1,000 comics worth of dollars. You know what I mean? Like a single comic in a slab is worth the same as these like 1,000 comics, right? Like in my collection. So I kind of already got over that sense of paranoia or worry about the current market value of a single thing or, you know, a single item before I even started collecting art. So I think that's why I don't necessarily have the same kind of paranoia or worry about that. Whereas in, you know, in my head, having 4 pieces that are worth $2,500 each versus having 1 piece versus 10,000, I don't think about it that often, and I have no more nervousness over owning that $10,000 piece versus owning 4 of the $2,500 pieces at all. It's the same thing in my head.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, that's what makes it an interesting topic to me, because I'm aware that the way Carl and I feel, I know that it's not everybody who feels that way. You know, I know that it bothers some of us, and others are, you know, I've talked to other people privately who are just like, huh, what? No, I don't give a crap. Like I've talked to people who are not in the spending sort of level of like more than, let's say, a few thousand on a piece, right? But they've been around long enough that some of the art in their collection has gone up to $50,000, you know, or more, and they're fine. You know, they're like I say, you don't get nervous about that, having that much money in that one single piece, and they're, no, I love to have it. I still love looking at it, whatever, and they're good. It's like, yeah, whatever, I'm good. You know, so, okay, yes, yeah, I'd be like nervous. I'd be looking to get rid of it, and yeah.
Well, see, but I think that's and I think this is probably the wrong way of thinking about it. But you know, that's the thing is, if you bought it a long time ago, you don't have the money into it. I mean, that's
hold on. I because you always argue that, Hydra, and I get it, and you're right, you're right, but you're wrong, because I feel like when you take that thought process, I feel it's wrong to dismiss the paper profits that you have, because I'll tell you why. The way I see it is, yes, even though you didn't put that money into it, Hydra, the reality is, I think it's wrong. I think it's not a good idea to think of those paper profits as, you know, illusionary, because the fact remains, you know as well as I do, if you really did want to part with the piece, then that money, those thousands of paper profit you have built in, it becomes real. The money's real. It's just that you've never realized it. You've never crystallized that, you know?
But I think it's if you, again, putting on a, and I'm going to make a very, very specious division here, a collector versus a dealer, because, and we've talked about this before, whether, you know, everybody's a dealer at heart, maybe, but I really tend not to sell, which I kind of have to change just a paradigm in my collection. But the thing is that if you don't have it in mind to sell, then it doesn't matter. You can tell me it's worth $1 million, $1 billion. I'm like, yeah, sure it is. Whereas if you're used to trading or selling or so forth, you're keeping that more in the forefront of your mind. I think there is a mental difference there.
Yeah, I think. I mean, so if we weren't doing like remodeling the house, or we weren't doing something to kind of improve the quality of the house for the whole family, would I have like maybe had these feelings? Maybe not. But it's just like I said, the combination of things kind of culminated in like, yeah, this is probably the right time to do it. And the fact that I was even thinking about it was a sign to me that I was like, yeah, this is probably something I should move on from. Because again, like I would not have expected that when I bought the page. So.
And I actually have a corollary question for this, and I'm going to exempt everybody who's actually on video and be found by the IRS, and don't answer this. But I'm kind of curious how many people, in estimate, actually report their sales if it's in private hands.
So I think I received a check. And that check was deposited, and it was an amount that automatically triggers
a review.
Yeah. So I feel like it got reported. So
well, I report everything. I do everything through an LLC.
Yeah. It's just kind of curious because there was a discussion that shall remain nameless, but everybody's seen on the boards about a very big trade that happened at OX and kind of going,
sure. Yeah.
That should trigger things, you know. Like, I wonder if anybody. I mean,
But a trade
Should it or shouldn't it with a trade? Well, there was cash on top, right?
Oh, okay.
In one side
well,
of the
but I
trade.
mean, again, perceived value. Because there was a discussion, was it a
Yeah.
fair trade? You know, and people say, well, I like this, I like that, and the thing is, if there is a disparity in values there is a taxable event. I mean, you're trading; it is taxable.
Trades are taxable.
Anyway. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do enough of it. I don't do enough trading. To really
How Jason can say
about
so
it.
much by saying so little.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like what? Yeah. The whole
Actually,
tax.
no, I haven't traded anything though, but my mind was pondering. So, yes.
Yeah, that's like that. I don't know anything about that because obviously I'm in a different country. It was a different laws with how that goes. But I've heard from different people bits and pieces about the craziness of how your government expects its citizens to declare certain sales of collectibles and used I don't know. It's crazy.
A sale
Trading thing involved. I've heard about that too. Trading still. And by the way, that I happen to know in Canada also. Technically, if you go by the book, we also are supposed to tell them and declare if you made some sort of trade on things of if you bartered for things of value and you gained in the trade, you're also supposed but it's so hard to difficult to
subjective.
Yeah, right, and it's hard to keep track of it, so nobody does, right? Not that trading is such a common thing anyways, right? Bartering or whatever, but yeah, it's like it's something that everybody, whoever does it, gets away with it just because they can't really police it anyways. But by the book though, you're supposed to even keep track of trading and all that shit.
And I mean, as the stuff is more expensive, you do wonder, if somebody eventually is going to throw an eye on it. Because I mean, if you're trading $100 pages, who gives a darn? It's de minimis.
Yeah.
You start adding zeros behind
it. Yeah. Hey guys, a great moment for me to pause. Those of you who are here regularly will remember that last week I had Carl Choi in the house for a show and tell episode, and that was a lot of fun. And Carl, in his excitement, forgot to give a plug to a project that he has going. So I offered him to come back on this week and just give him an opportunity to plug that. And well, you're not on camera yet, Carl. Stop showing it. I'm the only one who can see you down there right now at the moment.
He's that excited about it, Ruben.
That's how excited he is. But yes, so if you don't mind, please let me bring him in right now. I'll give him the stage for a few moments. Look at him. What a guy. And let me put you here.
Give him the big camera. Yeah, give him that big camera.
He always needs to be in the top to get the big shot, right, Kavi?
He needs to be the center of attention.
Special effects. As
there
if
you go.
Appears on one window, it comes into the other one. That's how connected the Carls are in this world.
I didn't bring my copy, but I got one.
I was ready, Carl.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Thanks for having me back on. Hey, you're welcome to hang out too. Actually, it's good to see Lee. Hydra, a lot of things you were saying I had some thoughts on as well. Kavi, my boy, and what's up, Jason? How's it going? Thanks for having me. So yeah, real quick, I mean, I would love to hang out if that's cool, Ruben, because you guys are getting into some really fun stuff. But,
now you're ready to hang out. You didn't bother to mention you wanted to, but now you want to hang out. Now that you see it's kind of cool. Oh, now I'll hang out if you let me.
It's damn cool. So I had some activity this morning. And my wife wanted lunch, so of course I had to make that priority. So I apologize for the tardiness. But BLADESMYTH, super excited. It's a book that's been like 5 years in the making. We all love Kreese, who's the artist for this book. What's really fun is for this campaign, we are running the first 3 issues, and he's just finished the 4th issue. And basically, what's fun about it is he finished the first issue about 4 years ago. And I remember this phone call to me, and he was so timid. It was the first time I had the most kind of awkward phone call from him. He's like, "Oh, Carl, I gotta like say something." And he was so scared. You could totally tell he's like shaking his voice. And like I loved it. It's like really cute. But he was like, Marvel just called and they offered me, the Fantastic Four annual. I don't know, you'll continue this, and he's like, "Is it cool if I take a break?" I was like, "Dude, of course, bro." I'm like, "Dude, go do Fantastic Four. It's gonna be great for your creator-owned stuff." And so he went, and then he finished. He came back. "Oh, thank you so much." Then he finishes issue 2. Then I get a second awkward phone call, and then it was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry, but like Marvel wants me to do like an issue of Iron Man." I was like, "Dude, please go do Iron Man." And so you guys, if you track his kind of resume, you've tracked that he's done a lot since. And so one of the coolest things about this book is the artist evolution that you'll be able to see through each issue, because he basically had 1 year break for each of them. So we launch on Tuesday. Ruben, thanks for sharing the website in the chat.
Yeah, no worries. The link is right there, everybody.
Yeah, a very small ask is just if the algorithm gods are everything in this kind of Kickstarter world. So they really track the followers. So, whoever's available, or if you're not following already, those who are following already, thank you very much. But you don't even have to back the campaign. I'm just asking for follows for this campaign. Because if we could break that 200 follow mark, it basically gets us to like a certain tier of like Kickstarter promotion. So yeah, all I ask is, quick follow, no obligations to back it. But if you're interested in checking it out, we'll probably post issue 1 for free on our website to read. And for those of you who were at OAX, we had 100 copies of these, limited to 100 copy printed. And if I remembered, or I saw you at the time, I passed 1 to you. So we kind of mark, the editions of what we print. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed the story, the quality. And that's all. Just wanted to do a quick plug. Ruben, we had such a good time on our show last week. Yeah, I totally forgot. And so it's funny because he mentioned it too. He was like, "Oh yeah, later you should like plug it." I just literally like blanked out, because honestly, like for me, that was such a fun journey. So like whoever hasn't done like a show of Ruben yet, like please do it, because it was like a really cool journey through my own personal collection, because there's so many pieces that I haven't looked at for a while. I literally, like Ruben, afterwards went to my safe, opened it up, and started pulling out portfolios to look at the pieces that you picked, because there was just like been so long I haven't really looked at some of them. And so yeah, dude, like really advise everyone to go through it. And thank you for that experience, Ruben. That's all I had to share. And if you guys will have me, I would love to hang out for a bit.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Let me look at that.
Now, that's a question on the. You have a safe where you keep your art.
I know exactly that. In parlaying to continue that conversation, and it's funny because I didn't get a safe early on because it was kind of a thing, but as kind of offers came in, trade values came in, you're kind of like, wait a minute, like this is worth stuff, and so that's kind of why we got the safe. But what was weird was during the fires, like last month, my wife read the fine print, even though I custom built like a fireproof safe. She like, "Did you read the inside? It says only safe for 2 hours." So of course I had to evacuate all your stuff. And so no fireproof safe. And I did research. No fireproof safes are fireproof really for more than like an hour or two. And so
that's true.
It's a temperature. Yeah, I mean it's paper too. We're talking about paper.
You'll melt it.
You know what I hate about safes. You guys can tell me, those of you will, at least you, Carl, because you seem to know something about it. Over here, if you go to any store that sells safes and you buy one, they'll sell it to you, but they will only deliver it to your front door. And if there's any elevation whatsoever of any kind, they're like, "Screw you. Yeah, you're on your own now." They will not bring it into your house. They will not bring it up the stairs to your front door. Nothing.
Exporting personal injury lawyers to Canada.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are very litigious. You guys are very litigious people. We are not. So, yeah, that's it. But it's just, I don't know if you guys know anything about that. Like, will they, if you buy a safe, do they bring it right into the room of the house that you want it in, or?
Mine was great. Mine, a few stories up, and also
wow.
drilled it, installed it, everything. And so
wow. And What was the weight? How much is the weight?
It's super heavy. It'll be like impossible for anyone
Like-
to get
Like
out.
hundreds of pounds?
I wouldn't be surprised 1,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
yeah. So
Ruben,
I think it's really well installed. But one of the things I did learn, I guess, just kind of, I think someone mentioned gun safes. So gun safes are not advisable for anything to do with paper, because they actually use some sort of chemicals in manufacturing and in protecting, I guess, metals and woods that actually works against your paper, and it's acidic, and it'll actually kind of wear the paper and yellow it. And so anyone who used gun safe, just be aware, because my safe guy was like, give me a whole 101 on like the type of metals and type of fireproofing to use. So yeah, be definitely careful about that.
Okay.
here,
Wow.
Ruben, the safe guys are happy to bring it in. They'll count the steps from your door to your safe. They'll set the combo for you, and they'll be happy to service it later when you're
Exactly.
Between the hours of midnight and 3 a.m.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm sure they will. All right, guys, let us get into what I mentioned at the top of the show, that I thought we would, like I said, by natural course of the conversation, we talk about OAX, and literally even with the new addition of Carl here to the group, again, we still have a 100% attendees at OAX this past year. But
one of these is not like the other, Ruben.
Yeah, except for one.
Except
What
what?
do you mean? We're not keeping up the charade anymore?
He left her. He left early.
No,
Next
that's
year,
it.
Ruben.
I wasn't there full time, is what I'm saying, But no, actually, so some of you guys I've spoken to privately, so I already know a little bit. If I can start actually with you, Jason, would like you to sort of give me a little feedback, because I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, because I do sometimes misremember. Last year, when we did our show to recap OAX, the first year OAX, my memory was that you had said, oh, you really loved it. And I think you started off by saying, the problem, though, is I blew my financial load within 20 minutes or something, like some crazy. Okay.
Nothing to be embarrassed about, Jason. Nothing.
Financial.
Were you able to fend off doing that this time and spread it out throughout the weekend? How did it go?
No, it was gone even before the show had opened.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, I had already arranged. I hadn't intended, but a couple weeks before the show, I picked up something on a Felix drop.
Okay.
And so, I was going to be honest with my wife and say, okay, that was part of the budget. That was part of the OAX budget. And then I bought something off of Jim Warden and arranged for that. I made arrangements for that before the show had even started, like a couple weeks ahead. And then when Jim got to the show, he said, why don't you come on up to my room and pick it up? And so then, of course, he had other folios there on the bed that I started flipping through. And then, well, I'll take that one. And so my budget I actually went over budget before the show even opened.
And I didn't know that was going on.
Jason.
Yeah, I have a problem.
Yeah, with Jason, I thought he was just hanging out. I was like, I'd see him every morning. He was talking about buying anything, and I didn't see him.
I was there for
picking
moral
anything out.
support.
And,
Yeah, I was there for moral support. I was trying to get my friend to be irrational, just totally irresponsible and spend ridiculous amounts of money, but he held strong.
That's what we do to make ourselves feel better.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you do from the time that the show opened? Did you just did you still go and tease yourself by looking for art?
Well, for sure.
Oh.
Because I think it's one of those shows where you don't know what you're going to see. And so even though I kind of go with a budget in mind, I mean, if there's that one-of piece that I'll never see again and it's within reason, then it's going to be some quick phone calls back home and say, hey, look, I know what we talked about, but there's this thing. And, so yeah, you got to look and you got to see what's out there. And, I was being good. There was a lot of temptations, but, nothing I had to have or it was beyond my price point, and that quickly shuts things down. So,
Well, there's something also very wrong with a hobby when you start having discussions like, well, it's only 5,000.
right. Yeah.
We're all sick.
Yeah. I mean, there is so much to look at. I mean, the first part of the first day, you can, do you want to just go look at what artists have, in front of them? And then, or do you want to go to the dealers, or did you want to go to the galleries? There's just a lot going on. And then you have this one plan in your head that, hey, I'm going to walk up and down the artists' tables, but then you get sidetracked and, one of the collectors' tables that you had no idea what they were going to bring or who was going to be there. So now you kind of drift over there and then you get distracted. And yeah, it was just, there's always something you can do, even if you're not actively buying or spending, because you can't control yourself.
There's conversations to be had, just the socializing aspect of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But how much of that did you so in other words, in terms of spending your time, because it was 2 days, how much time did you spend sort of more focused on still looking through all the art versus, okay, let me see, because I know, you've admitted, when we first met, you admitted, you came onto my show, you admitted even on camera that it's kind of I said it was a big deal for you to come on with me, and it was great because you admitted that you're not typically the Mr. Outgoing extrovert type personality, So right. I always wonder about people who are a bit shyer or introverted. Did you find yourself going up to people that you recognize, that you knew from online, and saying hello and introducing yourself? Or
well, I think Carl has a picture that kind of testifies to the kind of.
Does that kind of with him coming in? What's up, bitches?
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. That's definitely me.
He's a welcoming face that he just can't not just walk up and talk to him.
You see the nose coming before you see anything else. No, I mean, if it's people that I've met, or that's the other weird thing about OAX for me, is that from all these shows that we watch and the chats, you think you know people. You've seen them on a channel 20 times, so I recognize them. Of course, I know Carl, or I know Kavi, but they've never met you, and so you walk up as kind of a stalker. And you're like, hey, I know you,
no way.
Oh, who the heck are you? But yeah, no, I was still, I wouldn't say that I'm like overly social. I mean, I don't go running up to an artist table and then, hey, let's trade phone numbers and let's be buddies. But I certainly like to look around, like I want to hit up all the dealers and kind of get an idea of, the art that I am looking for. What is the price point? What do they have? Because some of them bring stuff that they don't have on their website, right? It's in their folios, and so you get to look at that kind of stuff. And so yeah, there's tons to go around. But I mean, you can just stand at Berkey's or Anthony's table and just listen to them talk to other collectors all day long. They're just trading stories and war stories, and listen to them barter and deal and what kind of deals they're making. Kind of learn from it.
Right. Okay.
A lot of people are bringing up portfolios too. Berkey too, and it was interesting to see what those people were offering, the exchange between them. So I was listening to that a little bit.
Hydra brought his folios that he had put in samples of his collection, and they were great. We just kind of pulled up to a table and took whatever time it took us to get through all of it and have him explain it. It's really cool.
I appreciate that. Was actually one of the things that I really appreciated, because I did schlep him along, and I was just like, having a room full of people that may not have the same taste or interest as you do, but we're all sort of, as opposed to usually you're one in a crowd of people kind of like, oh, you collect that? Well, that's kind of cool, right. That's sort of it's a fun thing to do.
So let me ask you, as a group then, which one of you, if any, would you say that that you were pretty sociable, you're out there and physically going up to people and saying hello? Anybody like saying, hey, so and so, hey, it's me, whatever, hi.
I mean, I kind of put myself in that category, I guess, a little bit. Like I'm not the most social person either necessarily, but
that's hard to believe. That's hard to believe.
Yes, but I mean, I wouldn't put myself as pessimistically about being social as Jason may have just there. But, You know, I was at Miller's. Like, it was interesting because it's really a 4-day show. It's not really like when you think about it, because me and a lot of other people were there on Thursday. You know what I mean? And there's not really much. There's not really much else to do on Thursday besides meet other people and go to Miller's and look at portfolios and stuff like that. And then really on Friday, half the day before the VIP reception starts at night is pretty much the same thing, where it's like you're just meeting people, looking at portfolios, hanging out. You know, you could get early access to whoever's setting up early.
I will say that at the first OAX, because the weather permitted, at the VIP dinner, you've got these big round tables that seat 10, and most of us are not there with a group of 10. So that kind of forced you to sit down and then find out who's sitting at your table. You know, where are you from? What do you collect? That kind of stuff. And I enjoyed that last year. This year, the weather didn't permit. So once you got into that kind of dining area, there was still some of that, but it was easier to kind of sequester.
I'll use one example of many, right? Like, I finally got to meet Bill J. You know what I mean? Freaking Bill J. Like, who can break calf with every post he makes.
Oh, Bill Johnson?
Bill Johnson, Bill J. Yeah, like one of the best, one of the craziest top tier collectors on Comic Card Fans, bar none. Yeah. You know, he'll put up a piece and it'll get 60 to 80 comments, like guaranteed. You know, every time. And, you know, I've been following his gallery for years. He's been following mine. And I'm always very appreciative of the fact that somebody with a collection to that level actually comments on my uploads every once in a while. You know, like once a month, he'll like sit down and like do a ton of comments. So they're always really highly detailed, you know, very insightful comments. And so when I saw him, I just went straight up to him and we had like a 15-minute conversation, which was awesome. And we talked about art and collecting, and super nice guy. And it was nice to finally have a real life conversation with somebody you've been interacting with on CAF, that you value their input on your own artwork because of the caliber of collection that they have. And now you're actually getting to talk in person about collecting and the philosophy of our collections and stuff like that. So that's just one of like 20, 30 times that happened to me, where I'm like meeting this other collector that I know online for the first time. And whether it was 30 minutes to an hour of conversation or just 5 minutes, it always felt like it was a valuable experience that I took away from the show, like including several of these guys for the first time. You know, I got to spend a lot of time with Lee and Hydra and, you know, Carl. I wish I got to spend more time with Carl and Jason. I wish I got to spend more time with you. Like, there was so many people that you honestly, there were certain people that you wish you got to spend even more time with, which was kind of, you know, a little bit of a bummer at the end. Like what you spend 4 days there and you're like, whoa, I met like 100 people I'd never met before, but I only really spent like multiple hours with like 20 to 30 people. You know what I mean? You can't spend multiple hours with 100 people over 4 days.
Yeah, and have it actually like be a quality interaction.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
exactly. So it's a little interesting in hindsight, trying to remember everything that happened, everyone you spoke to. Like, it's a bit of a blur now that a few weeks have gone by. You know?
Yeah. Hey, just want to say shout out to my old friend Assad, all the way in England. What's up? What's happening, dude? Holy shit! Been a minute. Good to see you drop in. Wow. Shocking. What are you doing here? Oh, yeah, it's true. Good timing. It's an afternoon show for me. It's only evening for you. Hey, good to see you, mate. Wow.
Alberto, you're even cooler than Bill J. Don't sell yourself short, bro.
Oh, hey, Alberto, check your Gmail, please. Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's good. It feels really good to have spoken to the people that I've spoken with, including you guys, and hear so much nothing but positivity in terms of collectors meeting other collectors. It was thrilled to hear that if so many people, you know, like when I started asking a couple of weeks ago, it was the Hangout episode 2 weeks ago, so it was the episode right before Carl's show and tell. And we had a little bit of the LA Fire talk, and then the Neil Gaiman talk, and the OAX talk. And to hear you know, to hear people, you know, when I'm asking, you know, what would you say was the one favorite thing, if there is one, that stood above all else? And to a man, everybody so far has been saying, you know, oh, getting to meet all the other guys and hanging out with the other guys, you know.
Yeah.
I love that, you know, because you know me, like I'm always preaching that, and that's really what I care about, and not so much the collecting anymore. So that was really great. And I wonder from you guys who enjoyed meeting all these people that you already knew, obviously from online for the most part. Did any of you, if you're willing to admit, did any of you feel like nervous in any way? Like, because it's I don't know, maybe it becomes real all of a sudden, where you're used to maybe seeing people like as a name on screen or as a face even on screen, and somehow you're standing a few feet away from them, and I don't know. You ever feel that feeling of nervousness? Like, oh, I don't know. Like I don't know. Like you don't want to maybe go up to them. You're shy or something all of a sudden. Did that kind of feeling hit either?
No, the great icebreaker is always like, yeah, that Ruben, jeez.
Thank God he's left.
That's good. Use me to get closer to each other. That's good. That's all right. You know.
There was a moment of nervousness, but not because of the meetings. And this may be unique amongst this chat because I didn't see any of you guys there. But there was a Magic the Gathering kind of onboarding night for art collectors, as well as comic card art collectors. And Steve, who was generous enough to open up his penthouse to host that event, we went up there early to get set up, and we're waiting for folks to show up after the auction, but the auction extended for about an hour. So Steve and I decided to start playing some games, and he said, well, why don't we just play some OG Magic Alpha games? I was like, oh, okay. And he busts out this like treasure chest, and he had like 5 decks of Alpha cards with Power 9s. And so he hands me one deck, and he said, oh yeah, you need your Power 9. And he hands me the Power 9s. And at one point, someone throws out there, man, what's that deck worth? And someone else said, oh, at least $500,000. I'm like, what the heck? And
it's
so
like the equivalent, the comic equivalent is like having a book club with original AF-15.
Yes, exactly.
Sitting around like reading.
And reading it, right? And so we're playing like old school, dropping the cards, and like I'm dropping like a $20,000 card on top of his card, his like $30,000 card. And it was just crazy. So that was like a moment of nervousness that, amongst whispers, oh, Carl wants whatever. I mean, I wasn't super nervous, but because Steve was so chill about it, but
you kept your drink on a different. But you kept your drink on a different table, just so you wouldn't knock it over there.
Oh, I was dehydrated for sure.
I was so nervous about it happening. I didn't even go.
Dehydrated.
I watched that video on your show, Carl.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, what's up?
Hey, Alberto.
What's up, folks?
It's my airport buddy.
¿Qué pasa, tío?
You evened out the Brady Bunch squares. I feel
exactly. It was bothering me just before.
Really?
That's why when I realized after Carl had come in, I really hate that. I really kind of did plan it, hoping to get an even number. Because it's so much more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And then when Carl came in, it's like, okay, I'm not going to refuse him just because of the aesthetics. But then when I realized, Tom wants Alberto to come on, and if he's willing, sure, I could even it out with 8 now. So perfect, yeah.
So essentially, you're admitting to Alberto that he's a space filler.
I'm sorry, but like already, Cavi said that I was quite not as cool as Bill J. or any.
I said you were cooler, man. I said you were even better.
He's like a seat holder at the Academy Awards.
All right, you gotta go. Hanks is here.
Hey, Lee, I'd like to hear from you because remind me, I think you didn't. Did you not go last year to OAX?
I didn't go last year.
You didn't go. Okay, that's my thought.
Going. So all these guys, I got to meet them for the very first time. So that was really cool. And you don't know what to expect because, you're just talking online with them, chatting and stuff like that. But I really had a great time hanging out with them. But at the same time, I still did my collector thing, like I'm sure everybody did, like where, you got your own interest still. So you go to certain tables, you just, you talk for a few minutes and you're like, oh, I got to go over there. I got to see what's over there. Mm-hmm. And and then you chat with the artists, which is great. So I love the overall experience. I loved everything about it.
I thought the special galleries were a really entertaining and valuable part of my experience there. Like, I obviously had to miss the show the first time around because of what happened to me and everything. So I don't know what the gallery situation was like last time around, but I'm told that this one was like a significantly larger, like other rooms with stuff to do in them this time.
Right.
It was better planned out, I thought, and maybe better curated so that you kind of could see different stuff, like with what do they call it? Collections in Black. I thought that was well done.
Korshak.
That's the
Great job with
the thing that Khalil was helping to put that together, correct?
Khalil and Big Phil.
Big Phil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Khalil's galleries were better promoted as well.
Just FYI, for anybody who knows Khalil is also going to be doing a show and tell with me soon, finally, after like so many years. Show and tell 69, February 23rd, so in a couple of weeks. Sorry. Continue, yeah.
Yeah, it was well promoted because last year, I don't think I found out about the special galleries till like Sunday afternoon. And I literally just rolled by for like an hour really quickly.
But you were kind of set up in a way also, right,
This
Carl?
year, right? Yeah, this year we're set up. And it was cool. Like, I got to see a few of you guys. I mean, Hydra and Lee came by. I think you came by Coffee a couple times, but I felt like
you've seen me enough. I've seen you
in a
like
weird way. I ran a car later and did our selfie, but I felt like by setting up, it's a plus and minus. I thought it was cool to have a place to put portfolios and then kind of flip through it. But then I felt like I always was either getting called back to the booth or having to kind of like think about the booth. So and then the year before, I had my portfolio on me on my back the whole time, and so I felt like there was nowhere to put it down. So I got to find a balance because I thought, being at the booth, I should make a bunch of plans, which I did. But because I made a bunch of plans going into it, I didn't get to like hang out with a lot of guys as much because I wasn't like free flowing, bouncing around. So definitely lots of lessons learned, and I think I've got optimized for year 3.
Yeah, it's tough. It's always tough, right? Like when you're trying to do double duty, if you like it's tough. Yeah, it makes it tougher to be able to just hang and Sorry, go ahead. Lee.
Next year, I want to make sure I get there a day ahead of time because I got there on Friday and I got there like 1 hour after the dinner had already started. So I was kind of, we were talking about, going up to people, and I pretty much had to do that because I'm like, I'm hungry. I got to eat dinner. I grabbed a plate. I went over to a table and I saw Rick Welch and Ian Saint was sitting at that table and a couple other people. And I was like, I can't.
Wait, did you just say Rick Welch?
Mm-hmm. Rick was there. Yeah.
Yeah. Rick Welch.
Rickster, he traveled? Really? Rick was there.
You were there, Ruben. You were there too.
But I didn't see him. That's the thing. Like that, and that's what I was gonna say to you, Lee. Like Marcus and I, what we did, we go in Thursday night. Somebody,
it wasn't Rick. It wasn't Rick Welch. It was Rick Verbanis.
Yeah.
Oh, Rick I'm sorry. Yeah, Rick Verbanis.
He knew that Alberto was there, and they had to.
Sorry, Rick. We're confusing Rick. Sorry.
Yep, I'm confusing Rick.
You're seeing. Now you should have just said that Captain America guy.
It was the Captain America guy. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. Okay. No, Rick. Well, I would have known. He would have mentioned it. Rick never mentioned it. So, exactly. There you go.
Sorry about that, Rick Welch. Because I'm sure he's in the chat too, right?
He just said.
There he is. Not me. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, Rick. But I feel like I know Rick Welch good because of the fact that he just participates so much between this show and when I make my videos, he comments all the time. And so I guess he's on my mind more.
All right. And Alberto, tell us a little bit from your. I haven't talked to you about your experience. And by the way, are you like Lee where you didn't go last year? I think.
No, I went last year and I went again this year. I actually went there the Saturday before with my fiance. We did the parks and all of that stuff. And checked into the hotel on Wednesday night and hung out on Thursday. And it was amazing the amount of people that on Thursday morning were already there checking in, portfolios in the lobby. And
Yeah, Anthony already
Anthony
had a
was
table.
doing business at the bar already. Anthony had his full display at the bar at the hotel, selling business, and it felt like really the show was ready to start on Thursday night already.
What was your if you had to choose? Like I've asked everybody already. What if you had to choose one thing? What did you feel was your favorite part of the entire experience?
Just hanging out with people. I mean, yes, the art is great, but I feel like most of my purchases I had prearranged already, so there was nothing really that was a surprise. I was just there to pick it up and save on shipping or whatever, but it was really a chance to meet everybody, right? Everybody here that's on camera, plus just getting to meet unfortunately not you or Marcus, but hopefully for next year you guys will be there.
I don't know if we'll be back. We're pissed off right
He's like, everybody has a sense of community, and they're like, everybody ignored me.
I mean, at the very least, we can make an extra stop at Kinko's for
they're dressed up as Barucci, dressed as Flash. So multi-layers of zippers.
I mean, there's already a cutout for Marcus and one for Nick, so I guess we just need one for Ruben now.
Exactly.
But no, that's fun, and you obviously ended up picking up the pickup of the show. That it has to be what Felix podcast was talking about. There must be those Ulan Abrera pieces that you picked up.
I've started the whole Ulan thread. I know Josh had a piece from already last year that he hadn't posted on it, but I posted the first one, and he felt forced to post his 2 pieces last night. So.
Yeah,
the market, man.
Yeah, but Cobby, you were mentioning about the extra rooms, with those extra art shows to see. I thought that was pretty cool too. If I'm not mistaken, Carl, did you not mention when you and I were talking privately? Did you not mention? Was it you who had said to me that you kind of felt you didn't like the way that they had separated those extra the art in those extra rooms, and you kind of felt maybe dealers and artists should be in one room and everything else in another? Is that
which card?
Which card?
You sorry, yeah. Sardergren.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I was like, did I say that?
Carl too.
No, I mean, I thought one thing I have to admit, I actually didn't even go into the special galleries. Like,
oh no,
I know. Like, I just
shame on you.
I know. But like, it was one of those things afterwards. Like, I should have done that. I spent a lot of time on the show floor just walking around and just talking and having a good time. So yeah, I think it was fine the way that they had it set up.
I think that there's a version of the floor plan that is potentially possible where you can get those other people into the you can squeeze things down a little bit and get everybody into one room. But personally, for me, I liked the reason to leave the main show floor because there was way more buying temptation for me in the main show floor than there was in like the other rooms. For me, was more about appreciating what was there on display. And I was like taking in like these Julie Bell paintings from the 90s or a Frazetta, or whatever, whatever I was looking at and actually kind of like breathing that stuff in or listening to somebody's like, Khalil explain to me the history behind, the first appearance of Robbie Robertson and all these like cool pieces of history. So like I spent more time in there to like alleviate my temptation in a way, if that makes any sense. So
but of course, they're easy to miss though, right? I mean, because if you didn't know about those special galleries, you just kind of had to go through the main door, go all the way to the left and make it there while everything else was on the right side. So
yeah, but I'm used to going to shows like New York Comic Con where you have to navigate Javits Center, and like that is an absolute bitch to do. And it compared to those kind of experience, this was a cakewalk. And I'm dealing with like one good leg, and I was fine navigating OAX, but with my one good leg, like I was being tortured at New York Comic Con.
You were a trooper, man. You were like you were doing it. I was surprised.
It was fun. It was like even for someone who's like a little bit not at 100%, like I thought it was a decent layout.
One
Yeah.
I think
Mr.
would be nice to have would be like a lounge that we could like put our folders.
There
down.
was a collector's lounge, but I didn't find that easily navigatable.
Yeah,
that
it
one.
wasn't super accessible.
That's like
Yeah,
the one
the
aspect
auction-
of the show.
The auction room what you could use as a collector's lounge, and there were some people there throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
There's
I
one
still
guy
think
there that had his portfolio out, and I felt real bad for him. He had some nice stuff in there, but he was essentially selling his collection, or at least what was available in that portfolio, because he was getting a divorce. I was like, oh, that's sad.
Oh, really?
That sucks.
No.
You mean he went there to look for people to sell his collection to?
Yeah, he was pretty much in that auction room most of the show. And on the last day, I saw him move into the main room, and he had one of those little stand-up tables where he had his portfolio set up.
Yeah.
But they were very
that's
small.
the guy.
That's,
Yeah.
Did you happen to catch his name?
I didn't. I don't
Okay.
remember. I mean, he might have told me his name, and I just forgot.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad. Wow. He
had some pieces.
He would tell people
that-
that's what he was there for.
Yeah, some pieces
Wow.
that he had in there. I remember actually, I was following them at like the last Comic Art Live. I was like, oh yeah, I was following that piece. And he had fairly, Ivan Reis Superman covers, stuff like that. But and they were good prices. But I had already had my mind set on other things. So
Right. Mr. Choi, can you please answer Antoine? He's asking you if the painting behind you is a Hildebrandt.
It is a Hildebrandt. It's actually from, if you look at my calf, it's one of the ones that's in my gallery. That's a miscellaneous art on wall, and it's the Darkness number 11 cover.
Nice. There you go.
Stingray, I think, put that info in the chat.
Oh yeah, there we go. Stingray answered it already.
Stingray's on top of it.
Good guy.
Well, speaking of Hildebrandt, that memorial section had some pretty epic,
Oh, cool.
mind-blowing pieces.
Super cool.
It was a crazy.
Was it so? Did you enjoy that? I mean, you said you liked having those extra rooms. Did you really like that a lot? Like, what was your favorite part of those extra rooms, Kavi?
Probably the special gallery rooms that included the Korshak collection, the collections in black, and a few others, but also just the main IAX gallery area. There was this guy Marcus Rohrwild who had all these like European sci-fi pulp like paintings and covers. I loved the stuff he had. He had a Frazetta and a Ken Kelly. He had pretty crazy fantasy and sci-fi pulp kind of stuff.
That was cool
as well. And the Julie Bell display, the Columbo display was really great. Like I probably was in those rooms 4 to 5 times throughout my my 2 days at the actual show. It felt like a 4-day show though. Like I'll just keep reiterating that.
Really?
Because of what time I arrived on Thursday, by the time the show started, I was already like exhausted.
Yeah.
So
I walked into the card art part of it, and I don't know anything
Card art
about
was cool,
cards. I'd never collected cards. I don't know anything about the art and cards. So I walked in there and I just kind of felt a little bit fish out of the water. And then I walked into the card art gallery where Steve was with his collection on the wall, and I was like, oh, wow, this is this is just really cool. So that was kind of neat that they had
like all the Juscos and that whole the Julie Bell Iron Man card and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was like a sort of the history of Marvel masterpieces, I believe, is how they were doing it, where it's like from the Jusco 92, 93 series. And then as you went along the wall, it appears to be, the later series, examples from all the later series that come.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty neat. Yeah. That's pretty
I guess chronologically, as it was left to right. But of course, when you come in from the right. So then I didn't even realize that till the end. I'm like, oh, these are the ones from 93. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Stanley wants to know, Kavi, did you do the pub crawl?
I guess you could say I did the latter half of the pub crawl. I didn't do the beginning half, and so I didn't get a T-shirt. But I didn't really care about a T-shirt. Like I would say I did most of my drinking at Miller's the whole time, which was, I guess, part of the pub crawl, but like the end part. I feel like they like set it up in a weird way where you had to like walk all the way this direction to go to one place, then walk all the way this direction to go to another place, and then what, you know, like I was like, couldn't there have been a better like order of those buildings to tackle?
Yeah, it was Jason did the pub crawl.
Well, apparently in Rob's mind, as we were coming back, so it started at Hooters, which was the furthest. It was supposed to hit Miller's, then go to the hotel bar, and I think there was an understanding that the hotel bar was going to stay open later, but they closed at like 11:30 that night, so there was no opening. So then it just camped out at Miller's.
It just ended up being at Miller's anyway. So, which
is where you'll find 80% of the collectors, I think, that are at the show on any given day.
You got to get those zingers, baby. They're tasty as hell.
So I went back to Miller's and I got my T-shirt.
He had to get that T-shirt.
He gave it to me. I didn't actually go there specifically to get it, but I was like, everybody was still there.
I forgot to buy myself. I meant to buy myself an actual OAX shirt from like the merch area. I completely forgot to do that.
Me too.
Totally forgot to do that. I didn't really focus on like the clothing and the swag. I meant to, but it just slipped my mind. Like I think the only shirt I came back with was an Ian Saint shirt that Ian Saint gave me. I think he gave a few people a shirt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ian gave you a shirt. What kind of shirt?
It's like this like colorful. It's not really tie dye, but it's like.
Oh,
like
I saw that.
Yeah, like this very colorful shirt. It says Ian Saint comic art or something on it.
Oh, so it's kind of his own self-promotional thing.
It's his Facebook.
He was just giving it away. I don't think he's selling them. But
No. But I mean, it's his own self-promotional thing with his name on it.
Like, it's his own shirt, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, his comic art fans image. That's what I think it is. Yeah, his comic art fans image is this big swirly, colorful thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was just his laundry, Kavi. He was just giving you his laundry.
Look at Mike. Mike's asking, Ian has merch? And that's
other people were there. Got it. Yeah, Tom got one. Like I know he gave them out to a few people. There you go.
Yeah. So Manic, there was a new Manic shirt, the Ian shirt.
Yeah,
so
I wanted that Manic shirt too. I just didn't remember to get any of these other shirts, and the only thing I remember is because Ian literally placed it in my hand at some point. You know.
There's a man.
Look, everybody's claiming they got one from Ian. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay, Carl showing the Manic shirt. So is that something that people are giving out, or you have to buy that?
You had to buy it. It was really nice.
Cool. The Manic's one you had to buy.
Josh
the OAX one you had to buy, right?
Yeah, Josh made the Mannix one and a bunch of people pre-ordered them, and then he had some leftover ones.
Yeah. Oh, that's the only shirt I came home with. That one.
I'll wear it for the rest of the hangout.
There you go.
There you go. All right, so that would lead us to the next natural part of this conversation is for a question to all of you, because I was only there to meet people, but for the rest of you, I picked up nothing. Anybody want to talk about the art that you may have picked up? Like, you don't have to tell that. Like those, okay. Let's start with those of you who don't have your own, who haven't done like a video on your own channel or whatever.
No, I'm going to spend an hour talking about the art I picked up right now.
Exactly. That sounds like something you should do. Maybe you record it or something as well.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, anybody who wants to talk about, did you score in terms of like artwork? Did you pick stuff up? Did you not really pick much up? Or I don't know. Anybody could take that one.
I think just the one piece that I got from George Pratt was a big score. So I was very happy about that.
Lee, was that your only piece?
No.
Oh no! I mean, I actually commissioned a few pieces, and there's one I'm still waiting on because it's from Jay Lee, and I sent him an email this morning. Oh, Jay, how's that commission going? Because he was sick and he wound up not showing up.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's not an issue or anything. But
didn't you
I
get
commissioned
Planet of the
3
Apes
pieces.
piece too, Lee?
I did. I didn't post that yet.
Okay.
So from
What?
Paulo, Paulo Rivera, I got a cover, and I have to still post that.
Nice.
But
Is the
I
Caesar
did
one?
that at the end on the
Oh, wait.
Sunday. On Sunday, I got one of the covers that him and his dad worked on. I talked to him about his dad a little bit, and I expressed how sorry I was on his passing and everything. And I was like, and it's one of the, that's in my wheelhouse. Like we talk about, Carl. It's a Planet of the Apes item. So,
Yeah, I got excited. I was like, you did? Was it one of the Ursus covers or one of the?
It was.
Yeah.
So you have Ursus 1, right? So I have Ursus issue. I think it's no, actually, it might be the 3rd issue. The cover.
I've been yeah. Anyway, yeah, we can talk about it. But I've been eyeing those for years, so I'm glad you got one. They're awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Lee, congrats on that Pratt piece, because I saw that was awesome. I was like, holy shit, right? And oh my god, that's like that may be the favorite thing I saw. And then, not to burst your bubble, but it's very complimentary. I then saw a quick, I guess it was on one of the videos on YouTube that I saw. I saw very quickly. It might have been Carl. What is it? Yours? Where I saw Peter Rowe.
Peter Rowe. Yeah. He has another one.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He also. Oh my god. That was awesome.
So cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing if he posts it on CAF. I haven't seen it yet, but holy shit! I was hoping he was going to be here today, because I would have invited him on and have him show us.
So Peter was waiting to post that. So me and Peter, we showed each other our 2 enemy ace images, and we're like, okay, we don't want to post them at the same time because we think both of these are liable to be, like thrown up on CAF in the daily thing or whatever. And he goes, okay, well, you post yours first. I said, okay, and then you can post yours the next week or whatever.
I like that. You're in cahoots to space out your George Pratt enemy ace commissions. I love it.
And George was one of the main reasons why I went to this show again, because I saw he was coming again, because I was kind of bummed I missed it last year, because a lot of the artists that were there last year, I would have really loved to have seen. Those are some of the guys who, the 70s, 80s, 90s art, and I was a little more gravitated toward that, but I'm like, when George Pratt came back, I'm like, you know what, I'll just go because of George, and they had some good people on there, so I took advantage of it.
The answer is yes, CJ. Very sick. Very sick. Okay. Hyder, what did you... First of all, how many pieces did you pick up? I'm curious if you got anything that was really special, and you're on mute, by the way.
You're on mute.
So I got 3 pieces. This has been floating around for a few years, so I'm gonna pick that one.
Hold on. Let me put you here so that I can give you the...
Oh yeah, I saw that at the show. Nice.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, who is that? Dominguez?
Kubert. Joe Kubert.
Oh, that's a Cuban one? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's been floating around for five years or so I finally bit the bullet and bought it when it came up again.
It was what for 5 years?
It was floating around. It was first on the comic, the Metropolis website, and then it was in 2 auctions, and I finally bought it from Berkey. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna miss it again.
Oh, okay. Oh, very cool, very cool. And it's not the only thing you picked up, though, right?
No, just some. I picked up one a title page and one British Planet of the Apes title page as well.
Okay.
Did you get that? Did you get that Grundy page there, or was that before?
No, that I bought it a few years back. That's just been waiting to be scanned. So I don't have everything up on the CAF. Just sort of like
that was a cool page to see in person, though. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's the Grundy page I've had for a while, and I forgot. I was talking with Jason that Finn had bought was it a Vage page, or no, it was a Bissett Swamp Thing page, right? So that's one of my things. Like, I should maybe throw that up on the CAF.
Yeah, Antoine makes a great point. I'm surprised that they don't even. It doesn't seem like they've thought of this, but next year someone needs to have a booth selling those protective sleeves, and that's true. Like, you should have that at every convention, because there's always people walking around who buying art, and then they'll walk up like at regular conventions, right? Like, they'll go up to random booths. Hey, do you by any chance have a bag or anything I could put this, And I'm surprised that every con does not have one of those.
Did none of the dealers have like extra portfolios to sell, like Anthony or anything? I didn't really ask around for Like,
I mean, yeah, but most
people
most
supplies for sale.
No, but most dealers do not go around dealing in the supplies as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but do you really take up a little bit of floor space for that as opposed to another vendor, like artist vendor, or like most people are going semi prepared to very prepared for this kind of a show,
Yeah, but
if you can have a fan booth where you take photos, you can find a table for somebody selling supplies.
Sure, right. It doesn't even have to be in the show floor. It could be in outside.
No, but there's a lot of floor space for the amount of people that are there. It's very, very spacious. So I don't see at all that there would be a problem to have one extra booth just for somebody with supplies, for sure, in the same room.
It's helpful if you catch yourself off guard and you buy a piece that's bigger than the folio you brought.
I personally, I would, if they're going to put anything else in the main room, it'd be something else to look at, some other art to look at. There's a lot of room in there, but I don't think I would, because most of us have things to put things in. I don't know that I would want to see any other stuff on the show floor taking up that space. I don't know. I mean, especially when you have so many other rooms that could, it could be in.
Yeah. I think most, again, have it packaged as well. There's a few that didn't, and obviously if you buy from the brothers or from any of the artists, they probably don't have it in sleeves. But most of the stuff that I saw was protected so you could flip through it easily.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't find too many casuals. I know that there are certain examples out there on videos of people documenting who are casuals or newbies, but I would say that was like less than 10 out of the 900 people attending.
Yeah. I think
I saw a couple of them. They were locals. They just happened to stop in, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we just found this."
That were brought maybe and stuff like that. But
I think that's an image they want to cultivate, which makes sense. But for the large part, it was the seasoned kind of collectors over there. Us.
Yeah.
Jason, sickos.
I just wanted to know, do you have anything of what you mentioned, the pre-show stuff that you did? Do you have anything you can are you willing to show us? Or I mean, you don't have to if you're saving it for like calf reveal or whatever,
No. So I don't know. This is a big.
Oh, is that a
It's burned pencils from his Elfsman.
Yeah, from the Elfsman.
Nice.
Pencils are hard on a live camera.
Yeah, it's a really big piece. It's
yeah. Is it because it's a double page? Is it a double page splash to the story?
It's a double page splash on one board, and then what was actually used was sort of this image that he reworked on digitally on Photoshop and put it on his website. But I liked it because it's got the Imperial Guard and X-Men fighting, and so that was the thing that caught me off guard, because Jim had it in a big folio and I didn't have a folio big enough to accommodate that. So I had to have Jim drive it back home and then ship it to me once he got home. But
wait for that. That's horrible. I had it in my.
Yeah, I had it in my hands, but I still had to pay shipping. Yeah,
I actually did there's a guy that is a collector that lives maybe like 5 minutes from me, and I'd seen him a couple local shows. He actually bought one of those Elsewhen's pages, and I have it in my portfolio. I still need to deliver it to him. He came up to me and said, "Hey, can you take this home with you, and then we'll meet up after the show?" So
meet up afterwards. Yeah.
So, but and
and suddenly Carl lost his number.
The crazy thing is, we were supposed to arrange a time yesterday, and then I completely forgot about it. So dude was probably like, "What the hell, man?"
Oops. Did I tell you about my kitchen counters? Yeah.
What Jason's trying to show something on there? Yeah.
Oh, and then so it's not flashy, but this is the last page from Byrne on Wolverine.
Well, it's very it's very flashy because you left it in the Mylar.
Well, that's that too. But I just like the ending of the story. It's the former Nazi getting his when he meets Magneto.
Oh,
and so
it's
more.
Cool.
It was more for the story than for the art. But
okay, still that's cool. You know,
Lots of dialogue on there.
Yeah.
I just wanted to answer Evgeny's question here. What's everyone's main attraction when it comes to collecting? Is it character specific? I mean, I think, let me just quickly, you guys can chime in after if you want. I will just to answer quickly, Evgeny, I would say if you're a commission collector, it's typically characters. If you're a published art collector, it's any combination of characters, titles, stories, combination of story and characters, time frame. In other words, what era, you know, maybe you're into 70s stuff. You know, most guys who buy stuff for nostalgic reasons will buy the stuff from the time period when they were kids. So yeah, I don't know. Anybody else have anything to add? I think that's pretty much accurate.
Well, I only collect art that was drawn on Tuesday.
You're a pretty specific collector there, Jason.
I know a lot of Valiant collectors are collecting because of the stories, because that's kind of like back in the day. Like if you love art, you went to Image. If you love story, you went to Valiant. And so everyone who loves Valiant art typically because we read it and we connected with the story.
Stanley wants to know: did anybody see any cool art books at OAX? Like, was there a was there somebody selling that kind of stuff by any chance? Like any kind of like a book deal?
Chris K was selling those Carol Day books.
What's up, Tom?
Yeah, that's true.
And some artists had sketch. You want to consider that as art books, but I know Aranga had a sketchbook. Other few artists had their own sketchbooks that they offered.
Right.
But.
Yeah, but that's standard because that's self-promotional for an artist, right? So, yeah. That makes total sense. Alberto, do you want to? Is there anything you have within reach that you want to share with us?
I do. I posted most of my main CAF pieces on CAF. I've been posting about once a day for the last 10 days, I think.
Oh, I know. I know. I've been leaving comments, so I know.
I've been trying to make sure that I don't do a big art dump just for you, Ruben. But
I noticed. Yeah, one per day. That's good. That's because that still feels pretty hefty. So, yeah, no, that's good. At least it's not overwhelming.
Here's a lot of the pieces that I picked up. I know I've put this on CAF already. Got a couple pieces from CAF 176.
Okay.
This one
was that
showing the.
Was that because they were available, or is 176 a particularly memorable issue for you?
Anthony used to have, I don't know if the whole story or a big chunk of pages that he made available a couple months ago. And it took me a while to negotiate something with him that I was comfortable dealing with. And I ended up getting those 3 pages from him for pickup at OAX.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I've got, and I think some folks might have seen it. I got also some good pre-OAX commissions. This was done by Josh Casara.
Oh yeah, that was a nice one.
That one was awesome.
Yeah.
At the show.
That was really great, actually. Yeah.
I don't know if he tells that to everybody, but he said it was his and his wife's favorite pre-OAX commission that he did. So I'll take it. I got a little bit of everything. Ian Saint gave me a very thoughtful. He meant to give this to me for Christmas. It's a Captain America page in the tribute from Meech Breitweiser. Supposed to be kind of Christmas themed, but it has a little panel there of Cap and Bucky.
That was a gift?
Yeah, that was a gift from Mr. Saint. So I got a t-shirt and a page from him.
Okay. That's
but
cool.
yeah, I got way too much stuff. My Marco Rudy commission that I think a lot of folks have seen as well. He was doing
metal,
some.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, that's the one I said. Let there be blood. There will be blood or something. Yeah. That's awesome. That's crazy.
I said it was a patriotic metal band album cover, basically.
Alberto wanted to get a little like the card art sketch from him too, but he said, "Oh, he already got his Captain America art from him."
Yeah, I've got some random stuff that probably Ruben you would have never guessed from me. I got a Betty and Veronica cover by Sanya Anwar on Tatiana's team.
Oh, that's yeah, from the more realistic looking, the adult Archie stuff type of thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That doesn't surprise me actually, Alberto, because you've had, you know, in fact, I'm the one who tells people when I have private conversations, I'm like, you know, I use you as an example of somebody who everybody thinks of you, oh, the Cap guy, right? But that's why when we did our show and tell, I didn't want to do 20 pieces of Captain America art because a lot of people, they're so used to thinking of you as the Cap guy that they just forget you actually have a lot more stuff in your collection that's not Cap, you know? So you are more well-rounded. It's just that you focus on Cap, but it doesn't mean it's all you have, right? So I'm not surprised you bought that.
And I'll do my last but not least, and this is actually one of my favorite pieces. You know that I love Sawi. I've posted a few Sawi covers on my Cap gallery. She just did this one for the X-Men.
Yeah, I saw that one. That's cool.
And she had that available on Jiggy's booth. So have a couple more pieces by her as well, but I thought that was stunning and more to come. I still have about 2 weeks worth of daily art to post from my OAX pickups and some mystery sketches that I had to pick up that had not been finished in time from the Comic Art Live show and things like that. So
nice. And Marcus keeps saying, he's telling you, screaming at you to say, show us the unicorn piece.
My Ulan piece, I think, is right here. It's not a unicorn, but this was the piece by Mannix's daughter.
That's cute. That's cute.
So you're gonna have Barucci make that a cover too?
Hey, and she's already selling her. She's already selling her art, man. There's people giving her $5 a throw on those.
I remember last. Was it Josh last year who bought a piece from her?
Yeah.
I saw her.
Josh got a unicorn piece last year, and he picked up another piece this year.
I remember last year seeing her drawing on the floor, and I was like, "Oh, man, that's awesome."
But that's all fun stuff, man. Derek says that you're the #1 Sawi fan. Is that? Would you take that?
According to Jiggy, I am, but I have to say she's been becoming more and more popular. Prices have been going up, and people are reaching out to Jiggy much faster than they used to when her art is announced, when she posts it. So it's becoming harder, that's for sure.
It's harder. Harder for what? To acquire her art?
Harder to acquire her art at reasonable prices and before it gets snatched by other collectors.
Okay. Now, are we talking about Sawi or Ulan?
Both, actually. Sawi for sure. Ulan, I think, is going to start picking up soon. There was not a single piece on CAF as of last night, and now there's 3. So it's definitely multiplying exponentially.
Jiggy's gonna need more room next year. She's gonna.
I thought Lance was the rep. I thought Lance got rights.
Lance is the rep for the time being. He took the lead before Jiggy was able to get to Ulan. So
man, it's a cutthroat business.
Look at this musical chair thing.
What's happening now?
Anybody else have anything within reach that they would like to maybe show and share it with us?
I mean, within reach. Hold on. You got, my Mannix. I think my Mannix sketch card was free, and it's probably gonna end up being my most popular post from the show. It's got 35 likes and like 26 comments.
Nice,
and it was free.
Nice.
So,
throw it up. See if you can put it closer to the camera, because with your background, it's kind of.
I'll remove the background.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, we don't want to get rid of your mission place, you know. Yeah.
That's
this was the Miko Swyon one.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, but I started posting to CAF. I started posting to CAF a couple of days ago. I'll probably get through the rest of my pickups like this week on CAF if I do one per day.
And you know,
I didn't buy a lot. I bought like 4 things. I bought an animation cell from Cowboy Bebop from Jeff Singh, which has been on my list for a long time to get a cell. That's my favorite anime. I bought a couple Star Wars pages from Brian Thies. I picked up some Swamp Thing art and some Daredevil Elektra art, like, you know. But then I also got several, you know, free sketches. Ian Saint hooked me up with a free Clone Troopers Star Wars piece. There's a very funny inside story between me, Jeff Wedding, and Daryl R about a piece at the charity auction that two of us ended up owning over the course of the weekend, and I ended up coming home with it. So I'll have fun explaining that story in my calf post. But yeah, I didn't do a ton of buying. I think I had like 4 or 5 free pieces and 4 or 5, you know, paid pieces or so, and that was it.
Okay.
And just a quick plug, Ruben, just so everybody knows, Mannix is going to be doing a sketch card of Superman for Jeff and Tom's show to help Officer Roscoe in there. So we'll have that next Friday on Nick's show. We're going to pick it up on Friday.
You mean this coming Friday on 5 days from now? Okay.
Yeah, on the fundraiser for that Tom and Jeff are setting up. So
yes,
please bid. Yes.
Yes.
And all the money will be going to Officer Roscoe's family. So if you're interested in a Mannix and you see the amazing stuff that Mannix can do for free in 5 minutes that Cavi just showed, tune in and bid and help the cause.
Excellent.
Yeah, I donated something. I might donate another thing also. It should be good. It should be a good show.
That's cool. Yeah, it should be a fun show for sure. Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of people there too. So it'll be probably a heavier crowd than normal, I would think. So that'll be fun, and hopefully at the same time fun and helpful to his family. And poor guy was, I think, 46 years old only. I mean, that's crazy.
I think so, yeah.
That is so crazy when it brings reality to the forefront all of a sudden, you know.
Mortality.
How quickly it can change, right? So okay, let me put you back here. Let's put us.
So we're at the 35-minute warning, just so you know, Ruben. So that's where we are time wise.
Thank you. That's the absolute latest stop
time.
And of course some people will Carl at the top.
I know, but now we're like back to symmetry here. I can't leave. I'm supposed to have to stay here now. So.
Oh, by the way, thanks for all the followers. We bumped like 6 followers since we came on, so I really appreciate you guys for
cool
the campaign. Super helpful.
And I wanted to say, didn't want to forget you, Dan, if you're still there. Sometimes I forget to post pieces because Ruben will think it's an art dump, and Ruben doesn't even follow me. I just want you to know, because I already spend way too much time every night leaving comments. I don't even look at the art anymore that's posted every day. The only thing I look at is the updates from everybody I follow already. And so if you want me to follow you,
there's a price.
You have to come on. You have to come on as a guest on my show, because once people do that, then I start following. And that's the only way I can keep sort of some measure of control over how much more time in my day I need to keep spending leaving comments, you know? So
that's fair.
Come on, Ruben. If Marcus can do it, you can do it. You can spend more time posting comments.
Hey, Marcus is Marcus. You can't compare nobody to Marcus, right? Like, I don't know how the hell he does it. Nobody knows, whatever. He's talk about unicorn. He's the unicorn, right? So yeah, he's magic. You don't compare it to him. I remember a few years back when Bill had released some data on the commenting, you know, and like I think I was, I don't know, 2nd or 3rd or 4th most commenter of the year or some shit, and like compared to Marcus, it was a tiny fraction of what he had put out.
Yeah, you were second in 2024. Marcus,
yeah, you see the numbers this past week. You
were second in 2024, apparently. So
who was second?
You were, but Marcus was first, and the difference was 23,000 comments or something. The difference.
Yeah.
I came in second, and how few did I get?
You had like 3,000 something, and he had like 27.
20. You see what I'm saying? Holy shit, man! Oh my god, that's whatever. Like you can't compare it to him.
I was curious to see if that list could be like published for all of us to see, because I'm curious where I am on it, because I think I had like 3,000 something comments this year on art. Since I was injured most of the year, I had way more time to comment on people's art. You know, I made an effort more so this year than any other year in the past to leave comments for people, just because, you know, I had so much downtime just like lying there while my foot healed. So yeah.
But Marcus's comments aren't even like that short, or he's like that. Sometimes he'll write like a whole haiku for your
I know.
piece, you know?
full long parodies.
Hey, by the way, Dan, I don't know if you like, I don't see you commenting other than laughing. I don't know if that laughter means that you're willing to come onto the show or not, but like, let me know so I can reach out. Otherwise, yeah, man, I don't know.
Enjoy the non-comments.
Yeah, exactly. Keep enjoying your non-comments. Exactly. That's all I can say. Thank you, Carl. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. That's about it. I mean, that's, you know, that says it all. Ruben, don't follow me. I don't post art anymore. I do follow you. You just don't post art anymore. Well, rarely. No, you post once in a while, just not super often.
You can't buy anything. You're too busy commenting on art. You know,
that's right. That's it. I mean, how else do you do it? That's his full-time job, apparently. He figured out a way to get somebody to pay him. He designed an algorithm or something that somehow made him get paid for leaving all those comments. It must be. I don't know how else you do it. That's pretty, yeah, he's the GOAT for sure.
It's like I said, when I saw him at OAX, he didn't talk to me because he was just nosing his phone, making comments all day on CAF. I was like, come on.
Now that there's an app, it's like he can't get away from it everywhere he is.
Well, Rodney, I'm pretty sure I just left you comments this past week or two, didn't I? I'm pretty sure. And if I didn't, you already know why. Now you know what you got to do in order for me to start commenting if I haven't started commenting on you yet. It's a measure of control, baby. Marcus has a harem of Russian brides that she's trained to make comments on his behalf. That could be it. Who the hell knows? First person must like images for a living. The first place person must like images for a living. Yeah, you heard. Who was? Do you remember, Kavi? Third, fourth?
Nick was third because he leaves nice.
Because he just does nice.
Nice.
Exactly.
I mean, no offense. I'd rather get that than just the like, personally, because it adds a comment to your artwork total, like the total comment. So I appreciate that, honestly. But yeah, he was third. So I'm curious where I was, because I don't leave one-word comments, but I'm wondering where I am on the list.
Yeah, and let me just say, because you just mentioned that, Kavi, for those people who I do follow and then leave comments for. Not only do I leave you a comment, but for the last several months, I have taken to liking and commenting. And I bring that up only because Kavi used to do that with me and other people. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to do what Kavi does. What the hell? Why not? Because when you first click the little thumbnail, right, to enlarge the image, I mean, the like button's right there. So you might as well just click it, click that first before you scroll down to do your commenting. So yeah, so I'm doing double duty, and I'm liking everybody who I leave comments for. I also hit the like button. You're still doing that, Kavi? Both?
Well, for everyone I follow regularly, I do that. Like for there's a lot more accounts out there that I can't follow and leave a comment on every single one. So for a lot of those, I will hit just the like button only, or whatever. But I'll throw comments every now and then on accounts I don't follow also. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. And since we're talking about this, let me just quickly throw out here, because we have, I'd love to call people out, as you guys know. Lee, if you could get into the habit, please, of when somebody leaves you comments, click the like button at the end of the comment, that would be awesome. I would love if you would do that, just because it acknowledges, it's a way to say both thank you for leaving a comment and acknowledging to that person that, oh, you know, I got your message. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I
Yep.
think it's just a good habit to get into. I just, you don't
Yeah, I
do
do
it
it sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done it before, but yeah, it's not one of those things.
Sometimes
I
the
think of right away.
website like doesn't register that you clicked a button though. I notice like sometimes.
I noticed that sometimes it doesn't stay. Like, so I've clicked it and then gone back and I
Sometimes you
don't
click
see
it and it just like, doesn't
highlighted.
go through.
Yeah. And on when I look at CAF on my what do you call it, the Firefox, and this has been going on for like a year now. It's still going on. If I click at the top where you have your what is the symbol? One of them is a heart symbol, and the other one is the what? One is for like to tell you your likes. The other one's to tell you your comments. Right? It tells you the notifications for how many comments, how many likes at the top left. And when I click either of those, and the drop down menu drops, it stays there. It doesn't go away when you click off anywhere else on the screen like it used to. And I have to refresh my browser just for the drop-down menu to go away. So really annoying. Yeah, so sometimes that's why I try to
all
go
the CAF etiquette stuff, as we've talked about before, Ruben, could be an entire like series of shows.
That's true too, yeah.
So
just Marcus, exactly. What happened to him? I haven't seen him in a long time. Baller.
He's selling art all of a sudden, I noticed. He took down all of his art from his personal collection and put up 3 sales posts last night. Foggy Bottom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know. Maybe he's unloading his whole collection. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know him, so I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, even Marcus says he's selling. I don't know to what degree, but yeah.
Ian, what if we don't have CAF Gallery? Can we still come on the show? I mean, it's just that I like to introduce collectors to each other, and I just find it's a nicer way to do it is by having them come on and doing a show and tell for the first time, because that's the show where I ask everybody to just tell us a little bit about how they got into comics when they were kids or when they were adults, whatever the case may be. And then how it led to them collecting original art, So then once they've done that, the audience kind of knows you a little bit already. And so then it's nice to have you back on to do, round table or hangout episodes or what have you. But Ian, if you're interested in coming on a future show like this, either a round table, this I guess I should have kind of done this marketed as a round table episode. But yeah, hang out or a round table, let me know. I'd be happy to have, the more new people that have never been on that would like to come on, I'm happy to have, introduce more people and let people get to know you as more than just a name on a screen,
But
so
Ruben, think of the benefit though. You get one more show out of it, but then no more comments that you have to post. So if he doesn't have a gallery, if he doesn't have a CAF gallery, have the you get a show.
I don't have to add him.
Just saying.
That's true.
So, I noticed Scott had a suggestion, and just to answer that, there is actually a way to do that on the website. It's not very obvious, but if you go to resources, forums, and if you go into the resources tab and go to forums, the top link at the top of the list of forums is called Comic Art Comments. And it literally, you click through to that and you can see every piece of art that's being commented on in real time, and you can refresh it. Like literally every piece that has a comment on it is like listed in order there. Jeez. In that section. It's kind of crazy to navigate, but it does exist.
All right. Antoine's asking, he's been noticing a lot more non-art posts on CAF lately, stuff like signed books, prints, photos of fans with creators. In his view, it degrades the user experience. Thoughts, anybody? I'll give you, since you tagged me on it, Antoine, I'll say I haven't noticed a preponderance of it. I do notice occasionally people will put, let's say, a signed print or a remarked print. I feel like if there's at least a remark, like some original art on it, I'm okay with it. If it's just, signed books and print.
There's a whole category for remarked items as an art type, right?
Like really? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
you can literally upload to a category called remarked items.
Right. So then it kind of, so the website kind of encourages remarks, and so you're going to see more prints because of that.
Sure.
I'd rather not see a bunch, Antoine, to be honest, but so far I can't say that I've seen anything that's really been bothering me. And as far as the pictures, photos of the fans with creators, I'm okay because, I'm naturally humanly curious. I'd like to know if I know the person and I've never seen them before, I'd like to know what they look like. So it puts a face to the name, and so, I don't mind seeing photos.
Yeah, I would agree that putting signed books on there is kind of a stretch versus like remarks and things like that. Like I feel, like just a book that's signed would be kind of weird to me, but it doesn't bother
Bill just addressed this on the last Comic Art Live, I think.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said that if it has a remark on it, then he'll consider art and he'll post it.
That's
but
art.
Signed books, no signed books. He's like, I'm not going to include signed books. I actually started doing this thing where I have, and I just started recently. I have the artist take a picture with the piece of art, and then I post that as one of the additional images. And
that's what I do. I do that also. I love doing that.
Yeah, I personally don't mind pictures of fans with the creators. I mean, I think we all love the artists that do our art. I think this time of year maybe it feels like there's more because their con season's kind of starting. You start having OAX, and a lot of people are taking pictures with the artists. You're gonna see more as MegaCon comes in and Heroes comes in. But to me, they're ultimately the creators. They're the ones who are drawing all the art that we're all posting. So I don't personally mind those photos.
Yeah, and those are usually posted under the category of photograph, right? Like it has its own category, so I think that's fine. Personally, it's when it doesn't have a category and it's listed in the wrong category that it kind of annoys me a little bit. For example, I've seen Sin City Frank Miller limited edition lithographs that Dark Horse used to sell uploaded to CAF, but people just mistaken it for the original art. Right, it's just a print, right? Like at the end of the day, but I've seen people upload those to CAF and like they get thousands of views because the name Frank Miller's next to it, right? So, and that's a situation where I'm like, I don't really necessarily like that, but
the other one was
I'm not going to lose sleep over it either.
Clickbait.
So. How about Comic Link? How it'll be like the marketplace, and it'll be like, this is available, and then you go there, it's like sale pending, and it's like the same piece like 4 times.
Yeah.
Or like when you'll see things get listed as a classified, but it's like then it says not for sale, but it pops up as a classified. So it's like a fishing expedition. Like we'll post. I've seen a couple of galleries that post all these pieces and then have it not for sale, but it pops up as a for sale. So
is that because they change NFS to like permanent collection or something like some other sentence that the CAF system doesn't recognize it as
I don't know, but
not for sale collection piece. I think that's why.
But to me,
I think we'll have a whole session on CAF etiquette, and especially like you guys were mentioning, a lot of the for sale stuff. Don't list things as classified and just put not for sale or please inquire. If you're selling it, just put a price.
And it's not. And the gallery
the offers one is you see that a lot. But offers.
Yeah. The one that like it's not like the gallery that everyone kind of thinks of when you say this topic, but it was like a private seller, like a collector who just had a bunch of pieces on there, and it was just they were all classifieds, but it says not for sale. To me, that's like a fishing expedition to say, hey, this might be available. You shoot your number out there. To me, if you're going to post something on CAF, put a price on it because that's where the negotiation starts, even if it's high, whatever.
Like I mean, maybe some people are thinking that's a way to get more views on my art, but to be honest, like, you may get more views, but you'll get less engagement because people don't really tend to engage with sales.
Yeah, I never respond to those.
Commenting and stuff.
Bye, Jeff.
So,
hey guys, I got to bounce too.
Yeah, so. I was just gonna say. On that
Jason.
note,
all right.
Jason,
good night, everybody.
Thank you for hanging out, my friend.
You bet. Have a good week.
Appreciate it. You too, man.
All right.
Thank you.
See ya.
Enjoy it. Bye.
All right, now I can leave. Now I can leave.
Now you can leave
and
make
the symmetry is back.
The symmetry is back.
But all right, I'll take care, guys. Good chat tonight.
All right, man. Enjoy your Super Bowl party.
Thank you.
Still having a whole party, or what's?
Well, we're actually. I have to drive over to my in-laws' house. That's my wife and the kids are over there. So I got to drive there first. And they went to see Frozen on Ice this afternoon, and now we're gonna go watch the game. So. Yeah.
Later,
Sounds
Carl.
good, man.
The other
Take it
Carl's
easy.
helping.
Have a fun time, Carl.
Thank you. Take care.
Later, Carl.
See you.
Good, man.
Bye.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, what's with that, man? Do they not realize that the CAF website exists for art appreciation? Like, I don't know.
What do you mean?
There's certain people that covered the show and bought pieces for their collection that put it up on eBay with a price, but then in a description they say not for sale, only for appreciation purposes. It's like, you know about the CAF website, right? That's where people.
You mean
So it was Comics Den. Comics Den got some sketches and some pieces during OAX, and then they posted them on eBay with a price, but the description says this is only for the art appreciation, not
for sale.
On
like
eBay?
you can see how we got, and you can see how we got these pieces by following us on YouTube. So it seems like they're trying to bring traffic to their YouTube.
Yeah, they're
but
using eBay as a marketing tool for their channel. And that
I wonder what eBay's going to think about that. eBay's not going to be too keen on that.
Yeah, if they see it, if they flag it, they're gonna cancel that for sure. But
if it's up there and it has a price, someone could hit buy it now, and they
they have prices.
Obligated.
And they are then on the.
But do they have buy it now enabled or no? I haven't paid attention.
They had buy it nows and make offers enabled on all those.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
my God.
with an absurd price, so they're expecting no one to buy it.
Oh, with an absurd price. Okay, I see.
Yeah, but if
so
anyone does,
because I know one of them. One of them was a sketch from Amanda Connor, and Amanda had said that she had put extra effort into this piece because it was supposed to be for his birthday. So she was like, "I'll go a little bit above and beyond just because it's your birthday and you asked for a pre-con sketch," and then it's listed on eBay for a crazy amount of money, and it's like that doesn't seem right.
Weird.
Larry,
doesn't appreciate that.
What's happening, Larry? Been years, Larry. Where you been hiding, Larry?
Oh, Larry's here. We can end the show now. It's Super Bowl time.
Very soon, very soon, very soon. Comics Den are great, but they don't know anything about art. Well, he's just getting into it. They're just getting into it. You can't, fault them for that. Everybody's new at some point, right? So they're just getting into it. That's, I'm assuming, why, Angelo gets so 5-year-old childish, like with his exuberance and like, oh, awesome, and the way he acts. But I'm hoping that that's genuine. I still haven't quite felt confident that it's not a shtick that he does because he knows people kind of like it, whatever. But
it felt genuine in person to me.
Yeah.
But,
okay. Cool. Good.
Yeah, nice person,
yeah, they're nice. They're nice people, but
yeah,
maybe
they
a little
look
naive.
like nice people. Yeah, and they're like I said, they're Tom. They're new to they're comic people, right? So they're new to the artwork, and they just love getting mostly commissions and occasional published pieces. But they're like really enthusiastic because they're new about it, and so a lot of people when you've never really been into the art and you've just been about buying and selling comics and reading comics, well, you're not going to know much about the art, so so there you go. That is not sick. What is not sick?
Hey, Ruben, you had one other thing in your title, FF film, and we were only at 14 minutes left. You want to chat about that at all, or do you want to skip that?
Yeah, here, let me just catch up to a few comments because I'm almost there anyways.
And I'm roll off as well, so just get the symmetry back.
All right.
Oh, you're out of here? All right, Hydra, thanks for hanging out with us, man. I appreciate it.
Take care, Hydra.
Thanks, man.
See you, bro.
Talk to you soon. And they just doing the art shows for subs. Just call it like I see it. Nah, hey, you know me, man. I'm honest. I call it like I see it. I want everybody to be honest. Tell it like it is. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I've watched them for a long time. Yeah, okay. You have the right to your opinion. You may be right, or maybe not. I don't know. Right? So, Captain, the pre-Super Bowl show today. Yeah.
There you go.
Get Larry on the panel. Stanley, anybody who comes in, you want them to be on the panel, but yet you still don't want to be on the panel. So it's easy to talk,
He just
right?
wants the show to be 27 hours.
He wants it to be, 27 and a half hours. Exactly. Larry showing up about bootlegging. I'm serious. I don't know. I was being serious, just so you know. I know it's hard to tell sometimes, whether I'm serious or not, but I was being serious. If you'd like to come on sometime, I would love it, man. So I don't know if you've ever done any of this kind of stuff before. I mean, I know you got your channel, but Show and tell would love to do it. So just getting into OA flipping. That's what you think they're doing? Oh, because of the eBay thing? Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Carlito, what's happening? Good to see you. What you all talk about today, watch it on Rewind and you'll find out. That Cuber piece they got was kind of, they got a Cuber piece? I guess I haven't seen that one yet. They've been selling their own art on the house shows they do. Oh, really? So, you know what? Hey, listen, I'm the first to call somebody out if I find, they're in a hobby acting as if they're in it for this legit reason. And then I see evidence to the contrary and realize it's all about, ultimately just flipping, making money, blah, blah, blah. I'll call it out.
On the comic side, they make no qualms about the fact that they're selling comics.
Right.
Like
that I know. This is the first time that I've heard anybody mention that, then they take some of their art and sell it on their whatever at their warehouse shows, house shows.
I think that makes more sense than putting stuff on eBay for appreciation. Like that's just kind of weird,
Yeah.
Because a mistake, like if there's if that's an innocent approach, then they may be stuck with a sale that they don't want.
Right.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
it is weird.
That's it. I usually reserve judgment until I see, with my own eyes, evidence, like enough evidence to look like, oh, okay, that's really what they're about. If I eventually do, I'll call it out, but right now, so far, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that I know that they're comic dealers. Typically, when you're already a comic dealer and you start fiddling around with art, part of the reason, at the very least, tends to be for flipping reasons as well, or resale reasons, So that wouldn't surprise me. But are they selling a lot of what they buy, or just a few things here and there to help them kind of offset the cost of the things they keep for themselves? That's a thing. So I don't know. Their OAX vids have been fun. Yeah, for sure. I've enjoyed them. Fun energy makes people excited for the con. Yeah, exactly. I'm not ready to be on a show, but I appreciate the offer. Oh, I appreciate you telling me. Thank you. This way I don't have to keep asking you, But yeah, thanks, Dan. No worries. Bootlegging is a habit. The Cuber piece, they got it for free, listed for $4,000. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to chat about, and we don't have much time. It's only about 10 minutes. So I was on Facebook a few days back. And I was just going through my feed. That's all I do is just look at whatever's in my feed. And I noticed a lot of people posting comments about Fantastic Four. And so then I was like, oh, is everybody talking about Fantastic Four movie or something? And then I'm like, okay. And I suddenly see somebody had posted a photo still. And I go, oh, okay. They look to be talking about somebody, one of these, what do you call it? Fan fiction people. It looks like some fan fiction person, did one of those little shorts where, they're pretty good with computers and they do a little mini movie and put it on YouTube. And so then I see another post and it has a link to the video. So I'm like, oh, okay, let me just see how it looks. Because in the photo, I was like, to me, it doesn't look as good as some other fan fiction, superhero movies I've seen. So I go and I click and I start watching and I see that it's just like a 3-minute video, like a calling, and it's called trailer. It says trailer. I was like, oh, wow, trailer for a fanfic video? Okay. So I start watching and within seconds, I see the thing like completely, obviously digital, 100% digitally created thing. And I'm like, ooh, that's not too good. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I still like the Michael Chiklis one from 2004, whatever it was,
I hate that one. I hate that one.
I like it. I don't like it, but I was like, okay, whatever. What I'm looking at now, I'm not thrilled about. Bye, Alberto.
His internet just died, but yeah, he sent that message. I don't know.
That's what it looks like. Okay. But then it keeps going, and suddenly other characters start coming on screen. I see. All I can tell you is it looks like I'm like, oh, okay. These actors that look like they don't really have any charisma. They don't have any. What is it? They don't have
Chemistry?
They don't give good face. They don't give good face, right? Like, you know, the camera likes you, right? Certain people, you're drawn to them in movies and television. You're like, I want to follow that. I want to watch this actor. I like watching this actor on screen, right? They have a certain look. And I wasn't feeling that. I felt like these people were like, I don't know. But then I thought, well, this is a fan fiction thing. So whatever. The movie maker guy or woman got their friends to be the actor. So it makes sense, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. The invisible woman looks like she's got a dried up haired wig. I don't know. It just didn't look good. The costume looked like spandex, like from the 1990s or 80s. And whatever. The whole thing to me was just pretty awful looking. And then it comes to an end. And I'm like, well, I've seen a lot better fan fiction than that. But oh, well, whatever. You know, good for you. You gave it a try. And I thought, I was just curious in that moment to see, hey, I wonder if this is one of those channels who does a ton of fan fiction movies. So I scroll down and suddenly I notice the name of the channel is like Marvel Entertainment or something like that. I'm like, no, holy shit. I'm like, is that? No, there's no way that can be the trailer for this FF movie that they've been talking about for years that's supposed to be coming out. But apparently that's what I saw. Apparently what I just described was a trailer for an upcoming Fantastic Four Marvel movie. I'm like, there's no way that can be real. And that Hollywood studio thinks that they're serious.
Marcus is telling me to send you the real one, but apparently you watched the real one. I knew you were going to take 10 minutes to get to that point.
Yeah.
I knew that's where you were going.
Yeah, I'm done. Talk. Yeah.
But since we have 5 minutes left, I think it looks great. I love the trailer. I love the trailer. I think that's the best thing that has ever looked like the thing in all compared to all the previous versions that I've seen. I like the only thing I don't necessarily love about it is that, you know, I recognize Pedro Pascal from so many other things all the time, you know, like he's in The Last of Us, he's in The Mandalorian, he's in all these big IPs.
I didn't recognize any of the actors at all.
There's a little bit of that. I gotta like get used to him being Reed Richards, but other than that, like, and I'm sure I'll get over that in 5 minutes once I actually watch the movie. But I liked the trailer quite a bit, and I don't know if that's a popular opinion or a bad opinion, but I liked it.
Wow,
just fine.
It feels.
I actually haven't seen it yet. I'm watching it. I'm gonna watch it right now.
Yeah, you got to. It's like I feel like we saw two different things, Kavi. It's crazy. But having said that, as I kept seeing these Facebook posts, I would see an equal amount of like people saying what I was saying, and other people saying the same reaction as you. So who the hell knows how this thing's gonna look? I don't know.
Well, it certainly went gangbusters on YouTube. Like I don't know what view count it's at now, but it's had like several hundreds of millions of views. So yeah,
we'll 7.1 million. That's subscribers.
No, like
I'm watching. It's very retro looking. Yeah, it looks like it's very retro looking. It looks like it was filmed in like I guess they're trying to make it look that way, like it was filmed in the 60s or so.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in this retro blurry. Future version of
it's a little blurry too.
Of Earth, I guess. I'm assuming it happens in a different Earth, like within the multiverse. I'm assuming it happens in like a different, not the main, like where the main MCU Earth is. Like that's my assumption, because in the main MCU Nick Fury Earth, New York looks like New York, right? Like unless like, you know, unless a lot of things happened in that Earth during a crazy, you know, amount of time period as far as time jump, it's got to be it's a multiverse thing.
Do you believe what some of these guys are saying, claiming that there are fake trailers? Why would somebody make a fake trailer?
There's plenty of fake trailers, but but we're talking about the real trailer, obviously. So.
Yeah. And the actress, I do recognize her. She's from one of the more recent Star Trek TV shows. So
and Mission Impossible films as well. She's been in.
That's right. Yeah, she was the villain in that. That's right. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Some people are thinking that I saw the wrong trailer. After I watched it, and I said I don't recognize any of these people, then I remembered one of them. I vaguely recognized him. I was like, I think it's the guy whose name is Pedro Pascal or
Pedro Pascal. Yeah.
Okay, so then I must have seen the real one. It was on YouTube. It was easily misled. Watched the real trailer last night. Finally, I'm pretty sure it must have been the real one. But yeah, because you guys, what you just described is it's like it looks like they're trying to make it look like from the 1960s. But I feel it felt like they did that because I thought it looked bad, and it felt to me like, oh, they're doing this 1960s thing so that they have a built-in alibi that when people like me who think it looks crap start complaining, they can say, no, but it's because it's from the 1960s. We wanted to give it that look or whatever, you know? That's what it felt like to me.
When I saw the Johnny Storm portion, that looked pretty good. I saw him like going through the city and stuff. That didn't look bad.
Really? Oh, because in the preview, seeing Johnny Storm fly by, I was like, oh, I thought that looks like the flame looks so fake. It's so obviously digital, and that's the problem. Like the thing looks closer to his comic book counterpart. I agree, but it looked so obviously all digital. That's my issue. I was like, what? I don't get it. Like at this 2025, we can't get better than that. Like. I don't know. I think it's gonna bomb. I have a feeling it's gonna bomb.
All right, just highlight Marcus's comment. Ruben saw a fantastic 4-away from Wicked Video, and then let's wrap it up because you've got if you were serious about 6 p.m. It's you got 1 minute.
It's
Ruben.
1 minute of.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I gave that so we could give us the 30-minute buffer before game time anyway. So give me a second here.
Now we got 30 seconds.
I hated it when I saw the cast. See, a lot of people are talking in here, talking that they hated it, they didn't like it. Herbie, okay, great actor. Maple Sarah Blaza, Pascal. Need a FFL watch party. No reason to use Norman Radford's shot. Oh yeah, female, whatever. What's that all about? I don't know. Female surfer, yeah. Past 6 p.m. Skip the scope. We're not skipping the Super Bowl. 3-minute warning. What's up, Matt? Vanessa Kirby. Hey, Matt, I emailed you, by the way. I'm still waiting for a reply. I don't know if you got my email or not. The Ruben saw Fantastic Four first fan only. They can only make a fake trailer with the clips of real actors. Ruben saw Fantastic Four from. Is this the one you wanted me to highlight? From Wicked Video? I would rather have seen that after what I saw. You know? Have a good time, Carl. Have a good time. The Canadian film critic. Yeah, since there's still 70 of you here, I'm just going to remind you real quick, everybody. So don't forget Nikki B's show this Friday. Okay. And on the EXP, YouTube/the EXP. Just type in Original Art Experience if you want in YouTube. It'll take you to the channel. And that's going to be for this. Okay, we're going to be having a good time, but selling fundraising for Officer Jason Roscoe, who passed away in the line of duty a few days ago. And he was a fellow officer of Daryl Ars, who is a member of our art collecting community. All right, after Friday, don't forget to please, so next Sunday, I will be having the episode with a Stingray. All right, so that'll be fun next week. But 2 weeks from now on Saturday. So this is why I wanted to start talking about it 2 weeks in advance instead of just the usual one. 2 weeks from now on Saturday, because I'm still going to have a Sunday show. All right, on Saturday, I'm going to have my next episode of Comic Art Show and Sell. Okay. And that's episode 16. I'm going to have, this is the my first attempt. I'm going to start selling. I'm looking for new homes for some of my non-core pieces of my collection. All right, so the non Mike Perkins, non Tom Grummett stuff, as well as I will also have some consignments from some people. So please check that out. But yeah, it's same time as usual. It's the 8:00 p.m. Eastern, 5:00 Pacific, but Saturday. Okay, so Saturday will be the sales show, and then I will have the usual Sunday show the day after, and that'll be the show. That'll be the show with Khalil. Okay. But yeah, I'll keep reminding you. I'll remind you again about the sale next week, and I'll post on
now Saturday is not safe from comic art buying temptation dangers. Now
has it always been? Has it always been?
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Okay.
I'll tune in, of course.
Okay, I appreciate it. I actually I don't need, but I actually could use somebody who wants to handle the chat for me in case while I'm talking there's people making offers or people asking questions.
I can check with you.
Let me know. If you think you want to do it or whatever, let me know. No big deal. But I'm thinking of looking for somebody. So, thank you, CJ. Appreciate it. Good comics, movies mean good business for everyone. That's true. Just scared it's not going to be good. Fun show. Thank you. Enjoyed the game, Rick. Appreciate it. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate you, Marcus. Ruben saw the trailer. Gal Lactate showed up at the end. What? Okay. Good night, Corey. Appreciate you. I got the email. Have some art for that. Okay. Sounds good, Matt. Reach out to me quick, though, because I don't want to be doing this till the last minute. So hopefully sooner than later. Have a great game. Thank you, TJ. Thanks for dropping in. And Hart convinced Ruben to sell his collection. Can you please give a detail? Yes, I'm going to do that right now. Good night to you, Mr. Red Jack. Have a good time if you're going to watch the game. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Have a great time yourself. And you too, Dan. Thank you very much.
Hey, Dan.
I will not be giving you a score prediction, but I'm rooting for the Eagles on this one. Saquon Barkley may he run roughshod all over the Kansas City Chiefs. That's
I can't consciously root for either team, so hopefully it's just entertaining. Yeah,
I'll just say go Saquon.
There you go. Exactly.
Entertaining and not a blowout.
Let's let him run roughshod for 200 yards all over the Kansas City Chief defense. And with that, I will leave you with next week's thumbnail here with Stingray. There you go. Thanks again, everybody, and have a great week. Enjoy the game, those of you who are going to be watching it. And we will see you back here next week. Peace, and as always, go blue.